Hello friends and welcome to another Modern League. Today we're returning to Yawgmoth combo, my current favorite deck in Modern. Um, Keep on coming back to this, I just love playing this deck. Big fan of the Golgari colors, and I mean this is just the best thing that's going on in green and black. So there's going to be a lot of things here that's going to be very familiar. We're still running the Prosperous Innkeeper. I'm still choosing the Cutthroat over the Blood Artist. Some of the changes that's going on here, I'm running a single copy of Endurance in the main deck. Only 2 Grist, and I'm also running an extra Forest. I took out the Colony Garden for the extra basic untapped land. And then as far as the sideboard goes, I don't think there's actually anything that really changed here. It's just that since I put an Endurance into the main, I'm now running a full 4 of Endurance in the 75. So let's get this party started. What do we got? It's okay. Have turn 1 and 2 plays. We have an eventual Yawgmoth in hand. Brushland to start. Brushland Ancient Stirrings. Is this Hardened Scales? I'm betting this is Hardened Scales. Now, there should be no mystery to the opponent what we're doing over here. Only one deck plays Young Wolf. Okay. No mysteries here. Everyone knows what everyone is doing. Let's get a little bit of damage in there. If possible, I'm going to want to have a higher life total than the opponent. Not quite sure if that's going to matter, but we're going to need to draw another creature here if we're going to want to get Yawgmoth with this Chord of Calling. Need some more permanents out on the board. No, that's not going to do it. So we can Chord of Calling for an X's 3. Don't really see... No, it's only an X's 2. We're just going to have to wait. That's unfortunate. So they could block Young Wolf and then pump... Oh, geez, with the Hardened Scales, this thing's going up to a 3/3. So whatever they block is going to die. Would have been real nice to have drawn anything there, but it is what it is. I think we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. So they can sacrifice the Hangerback Walker to get some tokens on Ravager, sacrifice all of the... Oh, they might be a little bit short on mana. So that's 1, and then they get 3 Thopters. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, yeah. Easy lethal. They can activate the Inkmoth Nexus, send that in with plus 12, plus 12. GG. Alright, so what are we going to do here? Collector Ouphe seems pretty good. Outland Liberator. Force of Vigor. Hey there, Lesnar. Oh, absolutely. Yawgmoth. Yaugers. That's pretty great. I was just wondering if I should be bringing in the Scavenging Ooze. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to have as much value as I need. We are still going to have to cut out quite a few cards, though. I feel like I'm going to want to keep a lot of my dorks here. It's going to be pretty important to get onto the board quickly. Might be able to get rid of the Innkeeper. I'm wondering about, like, the Grists in this matchup. Being able to kill certain creatures could be important, but, like, the way that, I just really wish I still had Spellskite in this list. That used to be a card that, I would play very often in Yawgmoth. It would make me feel a lot safer in this matchup. Might want to keep the one of Endurance because it has reach. Hey there, Blind. Seems good to me. Keep this. Hey there, Lesnar. I'm running 2 Grist today. I like to change my numbers around just a little bit from iteration to iteration. I was running 3 Grist last time I played the list, and it worked out quite well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Fair, fair. I feel like I come back to this deck so often. I have a pretty good idea on how I want the deck to be constructed, but I like to play with little things here or there, see how it works out. Like when before Modern Horizons 2 came out, we had a lot more space to be able to experiment with these things. So I would try just about anything under the sun that I thought would be good. Tried Luris for a little while. In Search of Greatness was a card that I tried. But of course, none of those hold a candle to Grist. Once we got that, it became very difficult to be able to... Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so I guess we'll go Strangleroot, Ignoble, attack for 3. Yeah, it became very difficult to be able to find any space in the list. That's a good card. Okay. So, I guess we could use Dryad Arbor for Force of Vigor, huh? Get rid of Hardened Scales and the Relic. Hey there, Blind. Um, The schedule has been a little bit strange for this month, but it should be stabilizing again to be having a more consistent start time starting next week. I generally try and start 7 a.m. Atlantic time. So this regenerates target artifact. So when I try to destroy the Relic of Progenitus, they could regenerate it. Yeah, we should be getting back to regular, although I'm going to try and stream a little bit longer still. Yeah, it's definitely good to have a consistent schedule. It's been, kind of weird with holiday and whatnot, but that's coming up this weekend, so things should be getting back to nearer normal. Let's see what we draw here. Bird of Paradise. Here's Yawgmoth. Nice draw. So I was kind of hoping that we would draw a Young Wolf and be able to do a lot more stuff, but this is fine. I did miss out on a little bit of damage, though. I think I could have gotten for 4 if I had played out the bird with a forest earlier. Walking Ballista is scary, but they don't have enough mana for it yet, and I can Chord of Calling, go get Collector Ouphe, and they'll be in a pretty bad spot from there. If I could win this game without showing them Collector Ouphe, that would be pretty good. One, two, three, four, five, six. Plenty. Attack for 5. And we can just hold up Chord of Calling, so if they try anything scary, we can go get Collector Ouphe. Otherwise, we're just going to be able to win with damage here. We're attacking. We have Yawgmoth in play. It's going to be difficult for them to do anything into our Yawgmoth here. And if they think that a big Walking Ballista is going to help them, then Collector Ouphe will say no way. Okay, we don't have to show it. Excellent. So Collector Ouphe can be a surprise for Game 3, maybe. We just have it in hand? That's pretty nice. We'll definitely keep this. Yes, yes, yes. Collector is your arch enemy in Legacy? What are you playing in Legacy? Ah, Painter. Yeah. Some of the Modern Horizons cards have really shaken up Legacy, that's for sure. I mean, Endurance and Ragavan did pretty big jobs, from what I've heard. Okay, so the Ozolith is actually a little bit scary. Collector Ouphe, and go. Darkbound Ravager, scary. Not as scary when I have a Collector Ouphe in play. It's Eldritch Evolution, this Wall of Roots. Go get Yawgmoth. And our opponent concedes to the Collector Ouphe plus Yawgmoth. Alright. Good enough. A little bit scary with the Swamp here. Opponent mulliganing pretty heavily. They're down to 5 now. Could mean Tron, but they're not playing Giganta. Opponent last seen with Mono Blue Tron. Oh yeah, okay, so Blue Tron. At least means that our Ignoble Hierarch should be safe. Don't have much experience at all against Blue Tron. And the experience that I did have against it was with Burn. Okay, here's the power plant and the expedition map. Alright, ooh, I like that. So we can play the Strangleroot Geist and the Young Wolf. We could also just play the Grist, but I want to get on the clock, right? So let's put our creatures down and start attacking. Okay, well, they got Tron put together pretty quick. Oh, we got Yawgmoth. That's pretty good considering our board here. We'll be able to slam Yawgmoth, attack with Strangleroot Geist, reset it, and then we're missing the kill, though. Do not have the kill. Hey, Dollar Cutie. We're really close, though. I was supposed to sacrifice this once first. We missed a point of damage. I'm bad at this game. Yeah, that was a small mistake. Target, sack. Let's draw a few cards. Alright, so let's see what the scary play is on turn 3. They've got 7 mana. What's it going to be? Ugin the Ineffable. Destroy target permanent that's one or more colors. Exile the top card of your library face down. Create a spirit thing, and also your spells cost less mana. Alright, let's put a minus counter on Walking Ballista. It's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Attack you. Attack Ugin. Attack you. Attack you. Alright, so they start with an expedition map. Immediately crack it to go find another land. What do they get with this? I imagine another tower. I don't think Blast Zone is going to be good enough here. Alright, they do get Blast Zone. They tick that up to 2. Getting rid of the Geists in combat is okay, but like, yeah, it doesn't seem very good here. I just have too many creatures. Opponent agrees. Alright, so we're fighting against Tron. We're going to want Necromentia. Don't need the Endurance. Collector Ouphe seems kind of good here. Outland Liberator. There is also the question of the Thoughtseize. I don't think I'm a big fan of Thoughtseize here. We could also bring in Force of Vigor. But like, I kind of feel like Liberator Ouphe is where I want to be. Bring in 1. Still a lot of cards to take out. I'll take out Hapatra. Take out Innkeeper. Take out a Messenger. I don't think the Grist are super good in this matchup. Like, we can use one to get rid of one of their Planeswalkers, but it's not like we're going to want to be killing a lot of their creatures, I don't think. I think we really just want to try and combo. And of course, we're going to want to keep all of our dorks in because turn 2 Necromentia is where it's at. I'm for this hand. Not super good, but pretty good. Opponent keeps 7. That is terrifying. Although they're starting out with Academy Ruins, really kind of revealing that this is a blue Tron deck with that. If the weird Planeswalker choice didn't last game. Malox, thanks for the follow, friend. Ooh, Spatial Contortion. Yeah, that works. But it means I'm going to be able to Collector Ouphe before this expedition map comes down, so I'm cool with that. How you feeling about that Spatial Contortion now? Do you have another one? Or do you wish you saved it? Put down Messenger. Oh, they have Dismember for the Ouphe. Okay. They had another removal spell. Messenger will put a little bit of pressure on their life total, but not as much as we had last game where we were swinging for the fences with all those things. They could also just have counter magic up here, which is a little bit scary. They only have 2 cards in hand. I think I run it out. They go get Urza's Mine. Okay, so they activate both of the expedition maps, which means I'm not getting counterspelled on the Yawgmoth. And we're going to go ahead and sacrifice the Geralf's Messenger immediately, I think. We've already played a land for turn. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I guess sacrificing now is worse if they play Walking Ballista, because they could potentially use the counter to put to weaken the Walking Ballista. And if they want to play like something, I can sacrifice this in response, I guess. Alright, I've talked myself out of it. We'll wait on the Messenger. Okay, there's Karn. Karn can go get something pretty scary like Grafdigger's Cage, but we'll still get a chance to respond to it on the stack and just start swinging in with large creatures. Oh, getting Pithing Needle for Yawgmoth. Alright. No target, sacrifice Messenger. Puts them to 9, and we got 6 on board. Might want to kill the Karn, though. Getting Cutthroat a little bit late here, because with Pithing Needle on Yawgmoth, we're not going to be able to be sacrificing our creatures. Let's see what our next draw is. Urborg, not a good one. Verdant Catacombs go gets Dryad Arbor. I think we have to kill the Karn. Don't want them getting another colorless card out of their sideboard when they're going to have access to Tron next turn. Put Karn at 1 and attack them for 4. Yeah, I respect that. You can't do too much with Karn for that one turn, get the extra damage in. Mindslaver. Am I just Mindslaver locked now? They have the Academy Ruins. Alright, let's get that Dryad Arbor out so they can't crack my fetch land and fail to find. Oh, the Eldritch Evolution, that's so bad. They can choose any one of my creatures to get rid of. They can sacrifice the Zulaport Cutthroat and fail to find. That's so bad for me. And they get to get a full look at my deck. I suppose if they were looking for the most harmless thing, they could put a bird in, but, like, you can fail to find, right? Anytime you search an unknown zone, you can choose not to reveal something. So yeah, they get to see the Necromentia. Oh, that's an interesting one. You go get Grist, and then with Grist they can sacrifice more of my board. Alright, alright. We do get to keep the Grist around for a little bit, but yeah, they get to get rid of um, basically all my creatures, so I don't have any damage coming through anymore. Grist could have, yep, Grist could have killed itself. They decided to kill the Yawgmoth instead. And they got Ugin for the Grist. And here's a Karn. I'd say this one's out of reach, probably. Dryad Arbor kills the Ugin. Oh, they get Walking Ballista. So they can use Walking Ballista to kill the Dryad Arbor. Now that takes care of everything then. Well, that is pretty much the best I could hope for, but it's still not going to be good enough. They just don't block it and then start moving in on the Walking Ballista. Let's move on to the next game. Kind of like I'm liking the idea of some number of Thoughtseize. Just don't have a lot of room. Yeah, that Eldritch Evolution into Grist was pretty scary. I was thinking like, oh yeah, just fail to find, whatever, you get rid of one of my creatures. No, no, no. It's way worse than that. This looks good to me. Turn 2 Necromentia. Take Tron off the table. Seems that way, Lesnar. The Yawgmoth deck has been getting more and more popular. Wouldn't be too surprising to see that people have learned a thing or two about it. All right. Yeah, thanks to Demonic Tutors. Been killing it with the list. All right, so they have Plant, Mine, Thirst, Contortion, Slaver, and Blast Zone. So with like Thoughtseize or whatever, when you reveal a hand, it ends up in the revealed zone. But with Necromentia, it doesn't. All right, so we can get rid of the Mine. And the Contortion. So I'm just writing these things down on the chat box. You're not able to see it, but yeah, I'll have that stuff. So over here, so I can remember it later. Okay, so now they have Thirst. Oh, Collector Ouphe off the top. Nice one. Blast Zone will eventually get rid of my 2-drops. Okay, there's Thirst. So I know about Slaver and Blast Zone. They discard Mindslaver. Okay, so I know about Blast Zone in hand, and that's it. Okay, here comes Karn. Really hoping to get a land here so I can Eldritch Evolution, upgrade the Geist, kill the Karn. Trinisphere, okay. It's pretty good when I only have 2 lands here. Oh, and I miss on land drop again. That sucks. Expedition map. Can't be used while the Ouphe is in play, neither can the Relic. There's the Trinisphere. Good sequencing. Land! Nice. Alright, so we can Eldritch Evolution, the Strangleroot Geist, go get a thing. Thinking Yawgmoth here is probably my best choice. Outland Liberator is also kind of cool. Gets Blast Zone. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it looks like we can put them to 1. I guess we could just play Geralf's Messenger. I think that's the kill. Tornos for fun. Thanks for the follow, friend. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put them to 2. Not bad. How about this one? Okay, they start with a Thirst. That's fine. They don't have any blue mana left, so I think this is GG. And we get another W. I keep this one. It's not, like, super hot, but we're on the play. We got turn 2 Messenger. And we're playing against Control. It could be Elementals. Wow, they are mulliganing heavily. They're down to 4. Alright, so Misty goes get Stomping Ground, which... Lightning Bolt my Ignoble. Unfortunate. Kind of want to play the Yavimaya. Playing Prosperous Innkeeper into a potential Ren and 6 kind of sucks, but I think that's the world we're living in right now. If I play the Yavimaya, I can't necessarily play the Gross Messenger without using the Clue, so I guess I gotta use the Verdant Catacombs here. Go get Swamp. I guess I could use the Nurturing Peatland so that I could potentially go fetch up Dryad Arbor later, but I don't want to lose all that life. Play the Innkeeper. At least if the Innkeeper gets killed, we got something out of it with a treasure token. Okay, they're just passing back. Now, they don't exactly have a lot of resources. Only 3 cards in hand currently. Nice. When we put down Yavimaya, this is going to be good for 4 colors of mana. They just go and get their critter, so that's going to be able to exile the Geralf's Messenger with the Solitude they probably have in hand. Oh, that's a good draw. Alright, so I think they have Solitude. So instead of attacking with Geralf's Messenger, I'm just going to turn it into a Yawgmoth. Actually, if we attack in with the Geralf's Messenger, they use the Solitude on the Messenger, and then we can turn the Innkeeper into a Yawgmoth? I don't know. It kind of seems like having Messenger ready to go with Yawgmoth at the same time seems pretty good. Get that Undying trigger to go. I don't think they're going to have... Oh, what if they have Endurance here? That would be awful. I would have played right into it. I think it's more likely Solitude. Yeah, thought so. So that was definitely the right play on my side then. Managed to get a trigger out of the Geralf's Messenger, which I would not have gotten if I had attacked. They would have just Solitude the Messenger during combat step. And I would have had to evolve one of these 2 creatures instead. Now we get our Yawgmoth. Could just put down another... we could put down Grist here. Grist would be pretty good. Let's go for Yawg. It's all good, friends. Oh, nice. We even get in for 1 damage. Sweet. Yeah, a lot of choices on that evolution there. I mean, name of the deck is Yawgmoth. Getting Yawgmoth is rarely wrong, but getting Grist was definitely an option. So it looks like we're missing 1 damage here. Ooh, the Fury, which gets rid of Yawg. Alright, let's draw some cards. Ha, nice. Good draw. Another Yawgmoth for you to deal with. I'm surprised at the number of resources they still have. I guess it's because they haven't been making land drops. Yeah, they've been missing their land drops. That's why they still have resources to deal with what I'm doing. Nice. Alright, so if I attack with Yawg, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would prefer to just go get Messenger, but then I don't get to attack. I guess that's fine. Was kind of hoping that they would play to the board a little bit here. Nice. Looks like GG to me. Okay. So, playing against control is a little bit difficult. We'll bring in Thran. Thoughtseize is an option. I'm not sure we'll take that one. Bring in Liberator if they have, like, Rest in Peace or whatever. Gonna want to take out a lot of Eldritch Evolutions. Endurance isn't my #1 pick. Could bring in Necromentia and name Solitude. And I like keeping one evolution if that's possible. What else could we be taking out? We can take out Hapatra and maybe the Innkeeper. There's also the question of the dorks in this matchup. Especially since they're playing Fury. The dorks don't seem super good. Hey there! Happy or Merry Christmas, Major Burn. Oh, that's what happens when you cut out the dorks. You get awkward hands like these. You know, I'm wondering if this is less of a control deck and more of an elementals deck. Now, there's the answer. It's definitely an elementals deck. We're going to need to use Grist to get rid of that. This thing is a huge problem. Really wish I'd been able to play one other thing. If I play Wall of Roots, I think I have 5 mana. Okay, so I should be able to play Wall of Roots, then sacrifice a Wall of Roots to Grist. Gotta get rid of that Risen Reef. So important. We also totally missed on what the opponent was doing when we were sideboarding. So we'll have to adjust the sideboard if we come back for a game 3. There's Fury. So you can either kill the Wall of Roots or the Grist. Has double strike, but not trample. So we can make a creature, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wall of Roots is pretty good for Chord of Calling. One, two, three, four. So yeah, we can Chord of Calling for like a Young Wolf or something, or we can just block the Fury with the Insect and try and get like, we're really close to just comboing. We have the combo in hand, we just need time. That sucks. Yep, makes sense. I'm gonna go get Ignoble Hierarch for the mana, because we're losing Wall of Roots here. Or sorry, no, we're not losing Wall of Roots, but let's get a bunch of mana. We have Geralf's Messenger, we have Cutthroat, so if we manage to draw a Yawgmoth, might be able to do something. What happened to the Elementals deck? We don't see much of it anymore. Most of the Elemental pilots have moved on to, what's name? Control. 4-color Control. Almost the same deck, but a little bit better. So we can't really attack. This becomes a 4-3. This has double strike, so easy block for the Fury. And we don't get our Geist back. We just hit them for 1 with Zulaport that way. Let's wait for them to attack in. We can block 1 with a Dryad Arbor, the other with Wall of Roots. Cutthroat doing a bit of work here. Mole Drifter with Evoke. Oh, they probably have Ephemerate and are just going to draw a million cards here. Block just 1. That is a choice. We could have taken 6. I wanted to... Like, I'm trading off 2 creatures I don't really care about. I'm only going to be drawing 1 card next turn. I have enough mana to cast it, whatever it is. So I wanted to get the extra points from the Cutthroat. But yeah, the Ephemerate on the Fury here, I think, is the nail in the coffin. Down to 5. We're kind of close. But now we don't have the mana for Yawgmoth. Yeah, of course, that's what we draw. That Ephemerate, and it's going to come back. So they're going to be able to Ephemerate the Messenger. Or Ephemerate the Fury, kill the Messenger. Seems bad. Alright, so now we know that they're elementals. I want the Hapatra back, please. I mean, they were still at 5 life, right? Messenger puts them to 3, and they have a couple of Giant Furies. I guess I could have drawn another Messenger off the top the turn coming up, but yeah. I attack for 3, they block it. They take 2, go to... whatever. It's already over. Oh yeah, I don't want these anymore. Looks good to me. Let's put down the Ignoble Hierarch, pass back. Should have access to 3 mana next turn. Alright, don't have too much to do with 3 mana. So I'll just play the 2 Wolves and attack with the Hierarch. That sucks. They probably have Ephemerate for this as well. Be able to finish off the young wolves when they come back. Yep. Now that's a problem. Looks like it's going to be no trophy today. Let's see if the rest of their hand is really good. Because if they got follow-up for this Fury, we're dead. Ah, the follow-up was way on point. They had a Solitude as well. Managed to get a Yawgmoth down, but it's not going to be enough. Well, we'll slow the clock down a little bit. Instead of dealing 6, they're only dealing 4 with the Fury. Okay, now it's going back up to 6. So I need like a Young Wolf, I think, is what I need to draw. So I can Young Wolf into Grist, kill the Fury. Wall of Roots will do in a pinch. No, it won't. I needed the Young Wolf because it needed to come back. I guess I could get the Grist and tick up. I could just block. I can't block this with Wall of Roots. I'm at 5. So another attack kills me. Oh, man. Could get Thran. Thran blocks Fury. They trade, but at least it kills the Fury. Obstinate Baloth would have been a pretty nice get there, although Baloth would die to whatever nonsense they have in hand, like if they had another Solitude, Thran can just block the Fury and trade. We're still in a terrible, terrible situation. We're going down to 2 here when they attack with an Alpha Strike, and we're down to the top of our deck, so I need to be able to draw something pretty special off the top, and for them to have nothing. But, you know, playing it as hard as I can here, friends. We're in a tough situation. Ooh, okay. I needed them not to have a thing, and they turned out to have a good thing. So that's going to be able to remove our blocker if we draw one, which we don't. GG's. Elementals is back. Yeah, I'd used Chord of Calling to fetch up Dryad Arbor, so we had the mana to cast the Yawgmoth early in the game. So there was no Dryad Arbor left in the deck at that point. So I wonder if this is a mirror match or if we're fighting a food deck. Ooh, that could be good. A lot of options in this hand. We just need the mana. Really low on black sources, so I think Twilight Mire would probably be the best draw. Not even sure what I would play if I drew a Twilight Mire or whatever, so we'll just wait and see what comes up. Aether Spellbomb. That can slow us down quite a bit, and a Shadow Spear. So we're fighting against some sort of food deck. No land. Kind of thinking I might go with Grist here. Could Strangleroot attack? Urza Saga. Ruggles, thanks for the follow, friend. Not too much action going on from the other side. They could make a food. Chord of Calling is kind of interesting. Uptick this. Put down Strangleroot Geist. One, two, three, four, five, six. We can only get a 3 right now with Chord of Calling. That's unfortunate. I want a Yawgmoth with this Chord of Calling. Looks like they're just creating a food and taking 2. Alright, Aether Spellbomb, return Strangleroot Geist to hand. There, yeah, they're using the food. Oh, they're going to cast a Thought Monitor. Okay. We're missing black mana. I almost want a core just for like an Ignoble Hierarch. I could get Prosperous Innkeeper. I like that one, actually. Gets us the mana for Yawgmoth. And if we can find a way to get Hapatra onto the board, that's just, you know, like, tops Blueby. Really close to the win here. Have almost unlimited draws. Let's see what we can put together. Endurance? Okay, that's actually kind of good. Eldritch Evolution. Bird of Paradise. How about some lands? How about some lands, deck? Give me some lands. There we go. Okay, so now we have Yawgmoth, which gives us unbound draws. So we just need to draw Chord of Calling before we draw the Cutthroat, and we win. Target, sack. Target, sack. Target, sack. There it is. Go get Cutthroat, and start doing the same thing over again. Target. Okay, opponent concedes to the Cutthroat. They know what's going on. Now, I don't know too much about the food deck, but I imagine Collector Ouphe seems kind of good against it. I could bring in Force of Vigor, could bring in Scavenging Ooze and Liberator. I imagine they're running Asmarano, Mardika, Daystina, Kaldakar somewhere on the list. They would have to be running like that as a 4 of. And Thran would be immune to that kind of shenanigans. I think Yawgmoth is as well. Just looking, trying to find that last cut. One more card to cut out. A little bit slow, but I do like the Liberator. And Hapatra plus Yawgmoth also seems pretty good. Being able to kill all of their creatures seems like something we would like to do. Alright, so it looks like opponent's going to play another Goose. And a Blood Fountain. Cool. That's a card I see quite often in Pauper. I think this is the first time I've seen it in Modern. Oh, the Wall of Roots. Oh, I kind of want to play Wall of Roots here. I was intending on playing the Strangleroot Geist, but Wall of Roots is better set up. Can play Strangleroot Geist Hapatra next turn into Yawgmoth and basically win the game from there. Although that is a lot of time for the opponent, and they just put a Feasting Troll King into the graveyard, which is terrifying. And they Fatal Push my Wall of Roots. Well... Oh, the Thoughtseize, damn it! I was going to say, well, we have Scavenging Ooze, we can eat the Feasting Troll King out of the graveyard, but they have the Thoughtseize, and they take the Yawgmoth! Okay, we're going to be able to Scavenging Ooze the Troll. That is good news. There's a cookbook. And Bone Shards, discarding another Feasting Troll King to get rid of my Scavenging Ooze. Wow. Just wow. Alright, so we could play the Liberator, which would be pretty good. Or we could play the Hapatra, which is better if we draw Yawgmoth. I guess we could play Liberator Hapatra. I don't think that's very good. So yeah, it looks like they're making a Feasting Troll King this turn. Trample Vigilance 7/6. Pretty good. Need a Yawg. Chord of Calling is a Yawg. Can we Yawg and Hapatra? So this is Hapatra, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We cannot get the Hapatra, unfortunately. We can't get the Hapatra and the Yawgmoth. We could play the Hapatra now, block the Feasting Troll King on his Trample. Damn it. We're going to take a ton of damage. I guess we could go get Grist and then kill this. The problem is they can bring it back in a short amount of time. I guess we have the Trap Breaker to kill this. Okay, I like this, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I play the Hapatra, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd have to tap the Trap Breaker, which I don't want to do. So we're not playing Hapatra this turn. Okay, attack with all my stuff. Kill the cookbook. Not bad. Nice. Do not like this hand at all. We're mulliganing this one. We're up against Kahira the Orphan Guard again. Our one loss was to Kahira, but this will probably be control rather than elementals. Ah, this is not a good hand either. Black, black, black. Yeah, we don't need the Urborg. Uh-oh. Ooh, so we're fighting, what is this, Jeskai Lotus Field? Right on time, young wolf. Well, if it is Jeskai Lotus Field, they have a little bit of a slow start, but once they start to pick up, they are one of the biggest decks in the format. And I could just be way off. I didn't realize that Charbelcer decks were playing Kahira now, but looks like we're actually playing up against Charbelcer. Not a great matchup, but we do have some cards against it. What pauper decks are you considering? Haven't had a ton of time to see your YouTube replays to see what you've been playing. Fair enough. I got a couple of considerations. Mostly Rakdos is definitely near the top of the list, but I had a pretty bad run with it on Tuesday, so I'm a little bit down on the deck right now. Oh yeah, you saw the Boros one. That was you liked that one, did you? That was a lot of fun. And a very strong deck, definitely a contender. They only need an untapped land here. Ah, there it is. GG. Let's take a look at the revealed cards here so we can get a good look at their deck. Pop this out. Huh. So they have the Kahira, but main deck they don't actually have anything that it's useful for besides putting it into your hand and having a creature available. They might have like Fury in the sideboard maybe, but I don't see any Fury in the main. All right. So what can we do? We have Necromentia, Collector Ouphe, Thoughtseize, Force of Vigor, because they're probably going to be playing Leyline of Sanctity. Can take out Hapatra. Okay, take out Hapatra. Thought for a second my computer had stopped. Take out Endurance. Don't need the Innkeeper. Don't think we need Grist. We've got 3 cuts remaining. I can cut out 1 Messenger, 1 Geist, and 1 more thing. Oh, this last cut is a pain. Maybe a Chord of Calling? Just not going to have a lot of time for chords. And I would rather get the Eldritch Evolution, so like early as turn 2 we can get Collector Ouphe. Have Thoughtseize, have Hierarch, have Evolution. We're missing on lands. I'm gonna keep this. Hope they don't have Leyline. Start Ignoble turn 1, and then turn 2. See what we draw, but probably play Ignoble into Thoughtseize. No Leyline is good for us. This Thoughtseize is going to be able to do a little bit of work. Okay. How about a land on top? Well, I didn't specify. Any land other than a Dryad Arbor would have been what I said if I had specified, but I guess this is better than the alternative. Let's take a peek at their hand. In before Veil of Summer, nice. Could take Recross the Paths. I think they kept this for Recross. So I take Recross, they almost have nothing. I guess Valakut Awakening lets them redraw, but yeah, let's go for Recross. Now I'm definitely considering just casting the Eldritch Evolution next turn and getting the Okay, so get rid of one of these. Yeah, because Collector Ouphe seems like it'd be pretty good if they have no way to remove it. It might just be game ending by itself. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. You can play Bird of Paradise plus Eldritch Evolution, attack with Dryad Arbor. Alright, what do you think of that? Collector Ouphe, your turn. Alright, so they play Serpentwood, get rid of those. And Valakut Awakening, get rid of those. But we don't know... Alright, so draws 6 cards. I think they just used them all, so I think they got rid of everything. Not bad. Strangleroot Geist. Don't have enough mana for Yawgmoth and Geist this turn, unfortunately. If we play the Geist and we attack, that's 5. So slightly more damage than if we just attack with Collector Ouphe. On the other hand, playing Yawgmoth is playing Yawgmoth. And just the better value for our mana this turn. It's going to be way better in the long run to get the Yawgmoth down. So like next turn we can play Strangleroot Geist and win the game. I don't know, just having some weird issues going on with the program at the moment. Doesn't seem to be anything too big. Quality program and all. Although I heard that Wizards has been handing off the coding or whatnot for MTGO to another company. Don't know how I feel about that. Could be a really good thing, could be a really bad thing, could be somewhere in between. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Spikefield Hazard on my Hierarch. Yes, that happens. Four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. I think I'm almost at lethal. We got black mana. I think I have lethal. No, because I would have to discard cards for the proliferate, so definitely not lethal. Ignore me. Sacrifice the Geist one time. Get a Yawgmoth. Oh yeah, we definitely should have done that. I just wasn't thinking. We definitely should have done that. Yep. Every once in a while, people will make mistakes. But thank you for pointing that out. Just a little bit of sloppy play on my part. I'm just thinking, like, we could potentially want black mana if we draw land into... dude, what's the name of the thing? The Cutthroat. So, target this, sacrifice this, let's start the combo. We'll draw a few cards here. Okay, that's one of the cards I wanted. Target, sack. Yeah, Chord of Calling or Cutthroat is what we're looking for. Target, sack. Target, sack. Hold on, let's check damage again. That's 4... This is lethal. Ten damage incoming. All right, all right. So one of the things that I personally have a little bit of trouble with, specifically when playing this deck, but also just in Magic in general, is tunnel vision. So I'll get an idea in my head, like I'm looking for Chord of Calling or Cutthroat, and that's what I want to win the game. And then I might miss another opportunity to win the game. So fortunately this time I was able to see that I needed to recount the combat math and was able to find lethal this turn. Oh, this is your first time seeing the deck in action? Fantastic. I'm glad that you're enjoying it then. That's great to hear. If you're interested in checking out some more content, I do have a YouTube channel with tons of videos out on Yawgmoth combo. And then also, you might want to check out Demonic Tutors here on Twitch. Demonic Tutors is one of the best Yawgmoth pilots in the world, so it's definitely worth checking that out if you enjoy the Yawgmoth content. This deck is well to play, a lot of decisions, very hard to play indeed. I would agree with that. It's a deck that rewards how would I want to say that? Stick-to-itedness, you know, like if you play this deck a lot, you learn it, backwards and forwards, it's going to reward you for that. But if you, just pick it up and start playing with it, it's going to be very difficult to play it properly. Definitely rewards experience. Yeah, there's a lot of lines, and being able to, like, when you're starting out, having like a cheat sheet, like for example, here on Modo, I can like Alt Tab and check out my deck list. Being able to see exactly what's in the deck, so you know what you can potentially be searching for at any time, is a helpful crutch. Yeah, it's an all spells deck Belcher, exactly. Perseverance, Diligence. Yeah, I would highly recommend this deck to people that are interested in playing a Golgari deck in Modern. Um, the deck has been around for quite some time, since Modern Horizons the first. Although, at that time, we were basically just seeing, what's name, Hogak. So this deck didn't really come together until Hogak got banned, and we saw Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time in this deck was phenomenal. Alright, we're going to keep this. We got turn 3 Necromentia, which will hopefully be fast enough with the turn 1 Thoughtseize. Hey there, I noticed your list does differ from Tutor's list. Can you elaborate on that? Yeah, we can spend a little bit of time going over that after the this match. I like to do a breakdown, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. Alright, so I just want to go to Thoughtseize right now, then turn 2 Wall of Roots, and turn 3 Necromentia. Alright, so we got rid of their Recross the Paths again, which they were going to cast next turn. So this buys us a little bit of time. A little bit of time to get this Necromentia going, hopefully. Alright, I actually have nothing to do during the opponent's turn. I'm going to hit F6 so that I don't use any of my clock. We're in game 3 here. I don't expect the clock to mean anything, but I don't have anything to do, so I might as well hit F6. Oh, the Thoughtseize again? Oh, that's a tough one not to cast immediately. Because we can Thoughtseize and play Dryad Arbor. The problem with that is that they could potentially have, what's name? Oh, this is a tough one. They could have Spike Hazard to kill the Dryad Arbor, then we don't get to Necromentia. They could have Veil. Veil also works against Necromentia. Oh, this is a tough one. I think we could just go Wall of Roots. And if we're really lucky, we're going to draw land from the top, and we'll be able to Thoughtseize plus Necromentia. Oh, they played that untapped? Uh-oh. Oh no, what do they have? 1, 2, 3 mana. Dryad Arbor doesn't do too much here. Dryad Arbor doesn't tap for mana the turn it comes into play. Yeah. I wonder why there could ever be any difference. Like, who could ever mix up a Forest for a Dryad Arbor? They look nothing alike. Yes, actually, I did specifically pick this Forest because it looks like Dryad Arbor. Force of Vigor. Okay. Problem with that is that we don't actually have any green heart cards in hand besides the Dryad Arbor. Alright, let's play the... Pay attention, Pact of Negation. I mean, what can we really do, though, right? Like, I could Thoughtseize, but we don't get to Necromentia this turn. I just want to go for it, to be honest. We know most of their hand. They've had 2 unknown draws. I think we just go for it here. If they drew Veil, they drew Veil. Yes. Goblin Charbelcer out of the deck. Alright, so they have T-Rit, Reforge, Spikefield Hazard, and Valakut Awakening. And let's check the rest of their library here. So yeah, they got 3 Furies, and that's basically going to be their win condition at this point, is the 3 Furies. Okay. Nothing else we can do with our turn, so let's pass back. And next turn we can play Yawgmoth. They can Scattershell smashing me to death? I hope not. Alright, so they're casting the Valakut Awakening, which is a card they just drew. No, this is a card I knew about. They drew 5 cards, so that's all the cards I knew about out of hand. No more known cards. They found the friggin' Fury, so that kills the Wall of Roots. Won this match by getting rid of their treasures so they couldn't pay for the Pact? Oh, that's genius. Now they've only got 2 Furies left in the deck. A land for Yawgmoth? Or we could just draw another Yawgmoth, I guess. Hey there, John. Well, we took all the Charbelchers out of their deck, and they've only got 2 Furies left to beat us down with. I think we're in a pretty solid position. Let's hope they don't have Veil. Nice. Alright, what does this do? Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. I don't want to let them have that. Let's get rid of it. Return Fury? No thanks. I imagine it'd be a pretty slow day at work for most people, Christmas Eve. Not if you're a letter carrier, though. Alright, so they're starting with a Desperate Ritual, and they're putting the Orphan Guard into their hand, and now they're going to play the Orphan Guard. Alright, if we can get one of these Yawgmoths down, I'm feeling pretty confident about our position, but we got to get one of these Yawgmoths down, you know what I'm saying? We got to draw some lands here. Good point. Think we can take the 3 here. Alright, they're not even going to attack. That's good for us. Land. Well, that's pretty close. Get us the Yawgmoth next turn, I hope. We have a blocker for Kahira. Just have to avoid the Fury for a turn here. Looking good. Here comes the attack. I think I'm going to take this one. If they have Fury, I don't want to lose the Wall of Roots. They did have another Fury. Well, that's a problem. Maybe I should have Force of Vigor those treasure tokens, huh? Now that gets rid of my Dryad Arbor again. They're actually going to beat us with these Furies. This is ridiculous. Alright. Let's not get too upset. Can still draw a land at any time. You're right. Double blocking the Kira would have been pretty good there. I'm just going to think about the block here for a second. I would like to be able to keep mana. Ooh, good draw. All we need now is a young wolf and we win. Okay, they create a treasure. They have enough mana for another Fury. Only one card in hand currently. Verdant Catacombs. We've already used the Dryad Arbor. Damn it. Let's put out the Cutthroat. I think we just pass the turn, use the Young Wolf to block, sacrifice it, and we'll get 2 draws. Yeah, we can proliferate. So we can kill this Kahira. The cost is double black and discard a card, so we can just discard one of these Yawgmoths. We have 2 swamps here. Hey, Mr. Rave, what's good? Merry Christmas, happy holiday. Yeah, no kidding. Well, like I was saying before, Fury is a really good card. So I do not want to proliferate the Young Wolf here. If I do that, it's going to be harder to reset it. Okay, let's reset the Young Wolf. Sacrifice Wall of Roots, draw a card. Another Force of Vigor, not what I was looking for. Put a counter on Fury, sacrifice Young Wolf. Nice, good draw. Okay, that ends the game. Unless they have some sort of response to this. So target, sacrifice. Let's get our triggers going here. They need some response to this, and they just concede. All right, thank you very much for saving everybody's time there. Opponent knows how Yawgmoth combo works, and they concede to the combo on the table. All right. So we were going to talk a little bit about the deck list here and some of the differences of we could say differences of opinion, differences of building the deck between myself and Demonic Tutors. Some things that you might notice: I'm a little bit light on Grist. I'm heavy on Geralf's Messenger. I've got this Innkeeper here. What's with that? I don't know if Demonic Tutors is running Hapatra. I've got fewer birds. So in general, when I'm looking, and I do pay a lot of attention to what Demonic Tutors is playing, I like to copy his sideboard. I like to look at what he's playing in the side and then make my sideboard after seeing what he's been doing and making my own decisions from there. Personally, I haven't really been liking Punishment. I haven't really been too into Veil of Summer lately, but the Necromentia has been working wonderfully. I love the 4 copies of Endurance. Scavenging Ooze has been super, super good. Thran has been doing work. So all in all, one of the only differences you're going to see here is the Collector Ouphe. That's something that I've been wanting to do some testing with, and I just recently put it into the 75, and I mean, it's been paying off. We saw that today against Hardened Scales. We saw that today against Tron. So the card is definitely good enough to be worthy of consideration. Is it good enough to make it into your 75? I mean, that's up to you. So getting into the main point that people talk about, the main difference between my deck and Demonic Tutors is going to be the number of Mana Dorks and the number of Geralf's Messengers. Now, usually I actually play 4 Geralf's Messengers. I usually play the full play set, but I've knocked it down to 3 recently just because there's so many cards that I'm trying to play in this deck, and it's difficult to make space for that. Yawgmoth pilots understand that. Ever since Modern Horizons 2, we've had a difficult time fitting all the cards we want to play in the deck. So there have to be some concession somewhere. I decided that for me, 6 Mana Dorks was enough. I get them most of the time when, I'm able to have, an opening hand with 1 in. It's a pretty good chance to be able to get one. We have 6 in the deck, but I'm not as likely to be drawing them later in the game is my thought process. So I'm looking at I want to be drawing Geralf's Messengers turn 3, 4, 5, not Birds of Paradise. So that's really the basis of my thinking for playing more Geralf's Messengers and fewer Dorks. I want to be able to draw these combo pieces. Now, Young Wolf is the best Undying creature in the deck, costs 1 mana for our combo piece, and it blocks Ragavan. So Young Wolf, one of the best cards in the deck. But Geralf's Messenger is actually going to let you win the game with a 3-card combo. So Yawgmoth plus Geralf's Messenger plus Young Wolf is going to get you the win. So I want to be able to get that combo instead of having to look for the 4th card. So, Young Wolf, Yawgmoth plus Cutthroat combos out, but that's 1 whole additional card, whereas I could be comboing with 3 cards with Geralf's Messenger. So I want to have more of those, and if one of them gets answered with a Solitude or a Prismatic Ending or whatever, I want to have another one. So that's why I want to have at the very least 2 Geralf's Messengers, but I think personally for me, 3 is pretty much the minimum of Messengers that I want to play. That does of course mean that we have difficulty fitting the rest of the stuff, right? Prosperous Innkeeper is taking a place of a Wall of Roots. Endurance is taking a place of a Grist. These are decisions that you're going to have to make for yourself, but for me personally, Hapatra is guaranteed in there for me. A very, very solid card, being able to, in combination with Yawgmoth, basically wipe the entire board on the opponent's side. And then the main deck Endurance hasn't had too much time to shine yet, but it's such a potent card. I like having the option of being able to Chord of Calling for it. This is a slot that could be something else. It could be the third Grist. It could be a Scavenging Ooze, but as we know, Endurance is one hell of a Magic card, so you can't go wrong having that in there. Alright, just going to catch up on chat here. I went on a little bit of a ramble there about Yawgmoth, and when you get me talking about Yawgmoth, I do ramble on. I've seen some decks playing a Goose. What could be the meaning of that? So Goose is something that we used to play before we had Ignoble Hierarch, and some people got very attached to it. And it's also very good against burn. So some pilots that have been playing this deck for an extended period of time, so since before Modern Horizons 2, are used to having a Goose in their deck, and they're used to that being good against burn. Once I got access to Ignoble Hierarch, Goose was out of my deck. High Tide is eating the pizza very slowly and slapping any hands that try and eat it. How often does Vizier come out? So Vizier comes out of the deck if I'm playing any kind of deck that doesn't have creatures. So like against the Charbelcer deck, right? Take Hapatra out. Against a control deck, take Hapatra out. But if the opposing deck has creatures, either to combo with them or to turn them sideways and win through combat, Hapatra's going to be good.